Welcome to the listening window. Today's story is called Beneath the Crimson Sands, an epic tale of ancient secrets, betrayal, and one woman's journey through a desert where reality itself begins to bend. As always, you can read along with the full script by clicking the link in the description. There's also a free downloadable PDF that includes today's vocabulary, a quiz with answer key, and a bonus speaking and writing prompt to sharpen your English skills. Now, take a deep breath and step into the unknown. I never believed in curses. Not until the expedition to the Ellerin Dunes. My name is Alina Reyes, and I'm an archaeologist. Well, more of a rogue academic with a taste for forgotten maps and whispered legends. That's how I found myself staring at an old parchment in the back room of a bookstore in Marrakesh. It smelled like dust and sun and secrets. At the bottom, in faded ink, was a symbol I'd seen once before, a snake eating its tail, surrounding a single word. Ellerin. Legend had it that deep in the desert, past the known routes, there was a city swallowed by crimson sands. A city of glass towers and obsidian gates. A place where time stood still. I had to find it. I convinced my guide, Hamid, with a fat envelope of euros and a promise of treasure. He laughed, said the sands would eat us alive. But he came. We set off at dawn, riding 2 camels and dragging a battered supply cart. The first few days were uneventful. Just heat, silence, and the wind's mournful songs. But on the 5th night, the moon turned red. Hamid muttered prayers under his breath. He said we'd crossed into the forgotten zone. I laughed it off until the stars rearranged themselves. Yes, you heard me right. The constellations, they shifted. Orion's belt pointed south. The North Star vanished. By the 7th day, our compass spun in circles. Hamid wanted to turn back. I said no. We'd come too far. Then we found it. At first, I thought it was a mirage, shimmering spires in the heat waves. But as we got closer, I could see it was real. The sand had swallowed most of the city, but black stone rooftops peeked out like bones. We tied the camels and walked in on foot. The city was silent. Not dead. Silent. There were no footprints, no birds, no wind. And then I heard it. A voice, calling my name. Soft, melodic, but from within my own head. Alina. I turned to Hamid, but he was pale, frozen. Did you hear that? I asked. He nodded. We walked further. The voice grew louder. It led us to a courtyard surrounded by crumbling statues. In the center was a well, blacker than anything I'd ever seen. Something shimmered in the air around it. A memory? A mirage? A warning? I stepped closer, and the world tilted. Suddenly, I wasn't in the city anymore. I was in a golden throne room. People bowed before me. I was wearing robes, heavy ones. Jewels clung to my arms like vines. I looked down, and it wasn't my face I saw reflected in the obsidian floor. It was hers, the Queen of Ellerin. And she was me. I snapped back to the courtyard. Hamid had collapsed, his eyes wide, lips moving without sound. I knelt beside him. He whispered, "It remembers you." Then the ground shook. Sands rose around us like waves. Statues crumbled. The well began to glow. I grabbed Hamid and ran, dragging him out of the city. Behind us, the city collapsed into itself like it had never been. We didn't stop until we saw the old caravan route again. Hamid never spoke of it after. Neither did I. But sometimes when I dream, I'm sitting on a black throne, and the voice whispers, "Come back." Thank you for listening to today's adventure on the Listening Window. If you enjoyed Beneath the Crimson Sands, let's keep the story going. Comment below. What if Alina had stayed in the city? What could have happened next? Also, don't forget to grab your free downloadable PDF in the description. It includes vocabulary words and their usage, a quiz and answer key, and a bonus speaking/writing prompt to help you practice English like a pro. Subscribe for more immersive stories that help you improve your English naturally. See you in the next one.